It's See Something, Say Something. Candace and Cindy are two therapists aiming to demystify therapy and pull the curtain on the people who are conducting your sessions.
Surprise, surprise. Therapists are people too. Listening as we giggle, chat about culture, navigating life experiences, discussing the things we like, and mental health.
Exciting episode.
Yes.
There's so much we have to unpack, guys.
A lot. Okay, stay tuned. Okay, so this is See Something.
Well, she's too excited, baby.
This is See Something, Say Something pod, y'all. And today we have a beautiful guest. And we're
As you
so
can say.
Yeah, she's radiating in the room. So yeah, Obee, tell us a little bit about yourself. Say hello.
Yes.
Well, hello.
What brought you in today?
And I am a luxury stylist. Also, I own my own business, Lumee Jewels, a content creator where I got my partners lined up, pretty much. But pretty much do everything with the gifts that God has given me. I just try to dabble into all of them at the same time, you know?
Amen. Amen.
And so with that, I just feel like all of this has really made me who I am, like my hobbies, my what I love to do, and you know, my passion in life.
She's a multidimensional woman. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I feel really excited to have Obee here. I think just from younger years, that's how we met. But then also, I think now in this professional space, we're all trying to find our way.
Yeah.
So it's been really nice to be able to have you and just kind of like help guide in the season.
I know.
And then I feel like a lot of people on social media see you and they're like, oh my God, Obee, she's really the it girl. Like she has it going on. But I feel like this is a good opportunity for y'all to kind of get to see her in another light and also get to like, you know, see us too.
Light.
This is our first official interview, to be honest, and so it's kind of nice.
First official.
First official. She's popping us off. Season 2.
Debut.
What do they do? What do the girls do this day?
Coming in hot.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna get to learn more about your business, your journey, what's kind of brought you in. And this episode should be releasing around Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So I think that's another fun thing because whenever, you know, I look at you, I kind of hear and see just love. You know, I feel like that's something that radiates. And so,
Oh my God.
yeah.
I can't believe it.
She's getting her flowers today, guys.
Yeah.
And also just, you know, taking us through her journey, her healing journey as well. So
the sweetest. I thank you, Cindy. That was sweet.
Yeah, we love you. Okay, so
in the season of love.
Yeah, and this
spirits.
is literally in the spirits, in the season.
Alignment.
You know, guys.
Girl, talk about it.
We love these little self-love cards, and we haven't done them in a while. So we were like, let's do it with friends. Let's do it with Obee today. Yeah. So this is the We're Not Really Strangers self-love edition. So yeah, everyone picked some cards. So I'm wondering who wants to go first and what kind of like cards do we get? What's the vibe?
Woo!
Girl, what's the doozy? Our guest should go first.
Are you ready? I'm not trying to go first.
The cards are giving, guys. They're really giving.
And what are they giving?
All right, I'm going to go with the first card.
Okay.
And it says, what title would I give this chapter of my self-love journey?
Ooh.
Juicy.
That's a loaded one.
Yeah.
What
That's a good
title would I give this chapter?
Are you?
Not the giggle. What that mean?
Right. What's the giggles about? Yeah.
So, it's funny because like I feel like I already know the answer. So the title I would give this, chapter of my self-love journey is called Good Luck.
Come on, good luck. Come on, good
Please tell us more about.
Are you wishing yourself luck?
She's wishing.
Or is there good luck happening?
Or is it like in store? Is it a fortune?
It's a story. There's a story to tell.
We
Trust
love
me.
And this is the perfect place to unpack that, yeah? So,
Go ahead.
you're sitting in our chair, like, what's
Stop
up?
laughing. But I feel like, okay, so in this self-love journey, me and my friends have really been going in and like, you know, the ins and outs and trying to figure out like what's the best way to date, you know, what is already done, what's new, you know, just trying to find out new ways to enter the scene because of how almost redundant and, you know, what it's really giving right now in 2025. Yeah. So me and my girls have decided like, we're going to give love our all.
Okay, all in.
But it's like good luck. Like take the chances,
take the
but
risk.
Good luck, you know. And like this is a journey of good luck. So we're wishing ourselves and our girlfriends good luck.
I love that.
Yeah, babe.
Oh, that's so good.
Very fitting. Very real.
I love that.
Actually, I love the saying good luck. I would probably get it tattooed on me. My mom says it all the time. Yeah, I'm just saying. It's true.
Your mom says it?
My mom always, she's so crazy because she will always say like good luck. Like even in the most like you're gonna go across the country, travel, whatever. She's always like, good luck. That's just her favorite thing to say. So it's always in the back of my mind. I love that.
Right? Good luck. I love saying that now. Because you're really wishing somebody just good luck.
Yeah, and you're also taking a risk. So
exactly.
Good luck.
Exactly. Do you see it? I see it. A little spicy there.
It's a little spicy. It's giving aligned. Okay, who's next?
This is a great question.
Who's
Popcorn.
next?
Cindy.
Oh, okay. It's me. I have so many good questions as well.
I know. That's why I was like, I don't know which one to do.
I would say I'm going to just do the one about how has my confidence increased with age.
Ooh.
So that is a question I got.
Wowee! That is so good. Especially for you, Cindy.
Isn't it? Right, because you've seen
Oh,
a
yeah,
lot of parts.
I've definitely seen you.
So I would say, yeah, I think of like baby Cindy, who was probably the most confident, right? Because like the world had not shaped us already or chewed me up and spit me out and made me feel like I couldn't do things or I wasn't enough. And now like 20 Cindy was very confused, very lost, giving very following energy. And it wasn't anything that I really like wanted, but it was just kind of like where I found myself. Right. And I feel like now I'm 30 and it happened so fast. I just love saying I'm
so
30
fast.
and I feel like this is probably the most confident I've been so far. Just being able to be honest with my word and also know that like, hey, like you know what you want now. You know who you are, you know what makes you authentic. Wow. And I would say with my age, like just kind of really being able to step into that authenticity and not be afraid to even do something like this, right? Like putting myself out there and actually speaking about how I feel and like what's kind of, brought me here and my whys and stuff. I'm more confident about all the things that make me me. And so, yeah, it's finally happened. And I think that's how it's increased with age a little bit more, being able to step into myself and trying to remember who she is.
Period.
We've heard that a few times.
Yeah.
That's
like
the theme.
remember who she is, but also like amplify who she was.
Elevate. Yeah. But you know what? Amplify who she was too. Because I want to honor those spaces that I was when I wasn't as confident, right?
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of like trip ups and miss-ups and development and like the things,
journey.
Yeah, the journey. So I think I can honor that as I've kind of grown my confidence through my journey. So yeah, that's how it's increased.
Wow.
I love that.
Okay.
There's so much beauty in discovery.
I know. It's happening.
These are all good, but the one I'm choosing is, do I have a clear picture of who I want to be this time next year? What's one small step I can take towards becoming that person?
That was a really good question.
Wow, we're diving deep.
Yeah. That's a really deep question.
Yeah.
So I feel like I don't have a clear picture of who I want to be this time next year. I feel like that's almost limiting and puts you in a box to be like, I know I want this to look this way, because then you miss so many other opportunities and routes that you could go. But I do know what I want to feel like next year. And I just want to feel, peace and filled. And that could be in any space. Just healthy and just like, I'm going the right route that I need to, and I'm prioritizing myself. So just like a sense of peace and fulfillment, and just like, opportunity for learning and challenging myself. So just like feeling like, this isn't the end of the road. There's always something more to come.
That's amazing.
But I do feel like it's limiting to like have a clear picture, because then you could miss all these different things.
That was so good. I love that she said that.
Steps I can take towards becoming that person. I feel like I'm doing that. And I think it's just always just like prioritizing yourself and just like allowing yourself opportunities to make mistakes and learn from those and not continue making those mistakes. Because sometimes it's like, whoops, I made this mistake, and then you just keep doing it. Like actually putting things into motion and moving forward and growing beyond that.
Yeah, like learning the lessons and letting
not
them
limiting
stick.
yourself.
Right.
So important.
We love. Okay.
Wow, fun game.
I'm not ready.
What did you say?
I realized
she said, hold on.
Transition.
Okay, well, now that we had an icebreaker, let's move on to the hard-hitting question.
Got it.
She's like, I'm ready to go right in.
Oh, you wanted to do the 25 ins and outs.
Hold on, ma'am. I really am trying to figure out where we're at.
We did the self-love game.
I'm thirsty.
But should we do the ins and outs?
This is cute.
Yeah, let's hear her honest review.
Oh, okay, about this?
Tell us about that.
We're drinking something, was it spritzy?
Yeah, I'm kind of obsessed with them right now. I'm not gonna
beverage, okay, with grapefruit, cranberry, orange. Ooh, I like the
it's
I like
giving
the tones.
autumn.
Zingy.
She's not the instant gas.
No, right immediately, because immediately, this is it. Thank you, Trader Joe's.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
No,
thank you,
seriously.
Trader Joe's.
I was telling Candrace, I found those during
the
holidays.
Good. Flavorsome.
What is this?
And they've just been banging since. And it's just been banging.
You would like this. It's giving juice.
Sorry, I would have brought you one. It's giving like juice. A nice little.
Yeah, like
a little pick me up.
What? And the citrus? Stop.
Like, as you can see, we are all decked out
draped
today.
up.
Yes.
We're dripping.
Dripping in Lumee Jewels.
Okay, Lumee Jewels.
I got on some bracelet, our bangle set, so the rings.
And also, keep in mind, guys, Candrace does not even wear jewelry, so the fact that she has this on
is a
right
very
now,
big deal. I'm not an accessories gal.
She's not an accessories girl.
So we're making huge strides.
Huge strides.
So good in these pieces.
I feel good.
Look at the details.
I feel good. It added extra.
I'm telling you, a little something, a little pizzazz.
Yeah.
A little pizzazz. It's feeling inspiring. Okay, so tell us a little bit more, just kind of like,
where this
obviously,
started.
we've been seeing your business, and we've been seeing it like very popping and like doing everything that it needs to do. You're doing great. You're doing amazing, sweetheart. But I also know that whenever you started your company, that it started a little differently. You had like nails that you were doing during COVID, and I know you had a pivot. So like, we're all here for a pivot. So just tell us a little bit more about Lumee Jewels. And how it kind of conceptualized and your story.
The origin story.
Lumee is pretty much like my brain baby. It started when I had lost my boyfriend in 2019. I was dating somebody around that time that meant so much to me in so many ways. And when he had passed, it was really, really tough time for me to kind of get out of the mourning and the grieving of the fact that he was missing. Like, it's almost like missing, a piece of you.
Yeah.
And you don't know how to get over that because, from somebody that you're talking to on an everyday basis to...
They become part of your routine.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they become a part of your routine. They're affiliated with your family. Like, they become family. And this person's gone.
Yeah.
And so my heart, like, literally sunk, and it didn't know how to move. And so I was in a place where it was hard, and I was hurt. And it was really hard for me to get up, I would say, like, get up and move and, like, do other things. So in this time, like, I found myself in my room, windows closed, doors closed, just like...
Okay. So we have tissue. Yeah. Okay.
Yo. See, I don't come thinking that I'm always gonna cry because I get stronger and stronger every time I tell the story. But like my mom has told me, it always comes in waves of emotions.
That's literally
you just never know
how the process is, But this is powerful.
And so, I was in my room, windows closed, door closed. It was just real, like, it was a real moment because I almost felt like I was losing myself.
Yeah.
When, like, I just didn't understand what was going on. We had so many plans in our lives, that we had thought we were going to have together, made so many, made so many plans. And so with the fact that that wasn't coming to life, that's when I realized, and it really hit me that, there's the plans of man and then there's the plans of God, which is completely different from what the plans of man is. So you can really think that you have X, Y, and Z figured out for yourself and you know where you're going to be tomorrow. And then God can snatch that from right under you.
Yep.
And you have no idea how to bounce back.
Right.
So that's why I'm really trying to be here to help with that bounce back because God really helped me bounce back. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it wasn't for God, I would not be here. I would not be here right now on the other side of what I was.
Right.
And so, like, it took me some time to really get out of that era of, I would say, grief.
Yeah.
Because I had lost someone I loved.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so when you are losing someone you love, especially somebody that you're in a relationship at that time, it feels like the whole world was snatched right from under you. Blindsided. So now, coming from being in a relationship where, you know, it was 5 and 6, like literally we were 2 peas in a pod.
Yeah, y'all were.
You know what I'm saying? Like best friends.
Very besties.
And like, I have to be doing this thing called life on my own.
Right.
I was not thinking I was going to do it by myself and without who God had given me at that time. And so in order for me to really like find myself again, sometimes I would have to have like some pep talks, like face to face, me versus me in the mirror, almost like Issa Rae on Insecure.
Yes.
But it wasn't like I was in an insecure place. It was like I need to heal from hurt, not insecurity. I'm hurting. I need to heal from hurt, and I need to be able to face myself in this season and be like, girl, get up, stand up.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I had to do. And so I did those pep talks to self. I had a couple of friends.
Yeah, I was going to say your community.
My
your community was showing up for you during that time.
Yes. Are we name dropping or like?
You can totally name drop. It's important to give people their flowers who are there.
Yeah. So like my girls, I would say like I love these girls. They know I love them down. The Lord blessed me with these girlies. And I would say that if it wasn't for them, the season just would have been really hard for me because, you know, I have my family, I have my loved ones around me, but there's just this relationship that you're able to build with your girlfriends that are really there for you that can really, you know, help you get out of a rut real quick, you know what I'm saying, compared to many other people because your girls know you. Like,
I feel like that's just like also like love personified in like a different way. You know what I mean? People being able to show up for you and just like, I don't know, a girl's girl love, like the ones who are truly down for you, it does feel different.
They fill your cup up. And my girls fill me up. And so I had a friend call, her name was Caroline. And Caroline's actually my god sister, so I love you, girl.
Oh.
So she called me and she was just like, Obee, where have you been? Like, I haven't seen you like anywhere, like social media, nothing. Like, where have you been? And like, I was pretty much trying to tell her, like, girl, I'm down and out. Like, this is just not the time. And I didn't know how to get up, you know? And so, like, she was just like, I've been there before. Like, you know, she had her own experience where her family member had also been in a situation that involved cancer. So she knew exactly what to do and what to say and how to pray for me. It was too intentional.
But it's just beautiful because like you had people who could like also relate, right?
Yeah.
So maybe in the moment when you were feeling so alone or like, hey, is this only me?
Yeah.
Like God sent you someone who can kind of help.
He places those people in your life.
Yeah, it was too intentional.
Had similar experiences, so they know how to be there for you.
Yeah, it was so intentional. It was so intentional.
It is intentional.
Because not only is she my god sister, but
your god sister.
Literally God-given sister.
That's what I'm
right?
saying.
Someone who was able to help lead you through some of that darkness that you probably at that time like could not
Where
see
to
past.
start.
Right?
Yeah.
And so she prayed for me. You know, she prayed for me over the phone. She told me I can call her, ask her for any help anytime, talk to her about anything. You know, because during that time, it was just really hard to talk to anybody for anybody to really understand what I was going through.
Yep.
And so I was keeping a lot of that to myself. So it was really lovely to have her there.
It's important to have community and also just people you can trust, you know, who kind of gave you a safe space to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Honestly, too, because you're talking about hey, it was really hard to talk about these things, but when we have these big emotions and things that have never happened to us before, right? It's kind of what do you do? And you're such a light too, so I'm even sure maybe during that time it was a little uncomfortable to
not be myself.
Not be, and
it was so uncomfortable. You're right. And other people had to be my light. Other people did have to pour into me in order for me to become, who I am today. And I really do think that they were all intentional by God's grace because I was going through a lot of questioning in my friendships and a lot during that time, 2019. It was a lot of switching. God was switching things in my life.
Won't he do it?
Wasn't it 2020 that we all experienced COVID?
Yeah, that
the
was
hugest shutdown in the world. So imagine my life started shaking in 2019.
Yeah.
And 2020 was my resting season. My rest and restore. So another friend that came into my life around this time is my lovely girl, Nana. And around this time when we had met each other, what was interesting is it really started through social media. And she was starting her blog, Every Stylish Girl, when she was working for New York Times around this time. And so this blog was asking me, questions like, hey, do you know who I should bring to the show to interview? Or do you have some ideas of, content creative things that I could do? And, stuff like that, because I didn't know who was behind the blog. But I was so open and willing to help my friend during this time that eventually when she, switched into her personal page and it became, she branched off from her own business and started doing her own personal branding, and we built our friendship through that. It literally just started from, fashion, content, a blog. And then to me, it's just really interesting how our friendship started because it's a story. But so, after that, we would talk on the phone. The conversations really started because of interviews. She would ask me questions because she had interviewed me for Every Stylish Girl. And so that was in the very, very beginning of time.
That's cool. I do like them.
I love them. And so whenever we built that friendship and we knew that it was very authentic, it wasn't something that you have to always check in and monitor. It was that friend that you can always love and show love from a distance and never know love lost type thing. She saw me when I was down. She was there when I was down because she was interviewing me during those times. So she was able to get to know, my partner then, because sometimes when she's chatting on the phone with me, he'll be in the background and, she would chat with him, get to know him a little bit over the phone. And so as I'm building that, bond with my friend, in the same time, unfortunately, I'm also losing the love of my life because he found out that he's dying. And we only have 4 months, to the rest of the relationship or what we had, at that time. And so everything came at surprise. No one was prepared. And, as a friend, she was just there for me. And it was not even she didn't pull back at all. She actually stepped up to the plate, if you don't understand what I'm saying. She put herself in a position where it's just lean on me. And not only are you going to lean on me, but I'm going to pour into you at this time. Watering. And so how she was pouring into me is she really wanted me to help find myself again as I'm, in this place of hurt. And it was just okay, girl, I know your passion and your focus is in fashion and beauty and lifestyle, and we're already doing it on social media, but they realize that I've been gone and they want to get me back. And so she's just let me tell you what's going on right now. Let me tell you how to elevate. Let me teach you what the girls are doing.
She's trying to continue to keep you uplifted.
Do you see what I'm saying? Because she knows that if I find myself again, then I'm going to be able to like truly step into who I am.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if I wasn't able to find myself, then I would still be in that hurt place looking for something else or something to fill that void. And so what had happened was, you know, she's pouring in all these resources, also, you know, love and help as a friend, you know, just, you know, in that capacity to be able to open up, you know, be a loving person, be a shoulder to lean on. Like that's what it was, you know, during at that time. And so I just thank God constantly for the women that he placed in my life. He also placed one of my best friends, Josie, and her sister, MC. They would come to my house and visit me and just sit with me and talk to me and hold my hand, you know, and just make sure that like I was seen, I was present in those moments and just company, you know, being with me.
Right. And not kind of allowing you to kind of like sit in the silence for too long.
Yeah.
Right. And so it sounds like your community was really able to show up for you and has continued to still show up for you. But I remember when we were having one of our conversations, which kind of like is connected to like kind of hearing about Nana, it's like you being able to kind of be pulled out, right? And it sounds like during that time, that's when you started to create. So essentially like creating to heal.
Yes.
I feel like it's like a big part of what you focused
Yeah.
on right now. And so can you kind of tell us a little bit more? I like your creation journey, right? Like what kind of brought you? You were speaking on it like a little bit earlier.
Okay.
So like, yeah, I'm curious.
Yes. Okay.
Curious.
So like to rewind.
Right. Go reroute.
So this creation journey, to circle back, it all started in the same time. Like even though I was in that dark place, I was also still like brewing something amazing that God had planned for me. And so something that I've learned about God is that, you know, if you almost see like if we're going to use this almost like an analogy to a tree, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So trees grow not only upwards, but they grow downwards. And the main growth of a tree happens underneath, you know, with the roots getting deeper in the dark place.
Right.
In order for you to really see what that tree looks like and the fruits that it bears.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm like on it because we've been talking a lot about that and like
a lot about planting,
watering,
and
planting roots.
But yeah,
like,
and the roots go through the hardest part.
They
Like,
go through the
hard
hardest
soil
part.
takes the longest. It's probably uncomfortable.
So
you know?
uncomfortable.
Pushing through
right?
a bunch of things, getting tangled up in things, getting
Breaking
stuck.
barriers.
Yeah.
Yes, breaking ground.
Breaking ground, literally. You know? And so that is a perfect example of where I was, I would say. Like, even in that place of me being hurt and down, God was still giving me a vision of how I was going to be able to turn turn that hurt into purpose, turn that pain into passion, turn that pain into success. Because if I'm to sit in that pain and not do anything, it only produces hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So in this case, he put that hurt in me to produce abundance. You know what I'm saying? Like he was planting a seed because he's like, I know you're not going to stay down, so I need to get you up.
Yep.
And this is what I'm going to do to get you up. And so what God did in that time is he gave me a vision about Lumee Jewels.
Yeah, Lumee.
How you Lumee.
Yeah.
This got out of hand.
It's a wild room.
So yeah, he gave me the vision of Lumee Jewels.
Yeah.
And the funny story about it is Lumee Jewels, the name didn't just come out of nowhere. I actually had to seek for it. So yeah, I had to seek for it. And so when I was down and I was feeling this fire in me, and everybody knows what that fire is. It's like a fire and passion to do something.
Yeah.
I felt it. And I was just like, okay, God, what do you want me to do with this fire? What do you want me to do with this passion? And he put me back into what I love the most, which is fashion, business, retail.
Things that make you you.
Things that make me me. And so once I got there, I started thinking, I was like, okay, well, in this place, I'm going to focus on what I love the most, which is jewelry. I want to be able to amplify the looks of other women men around the world. I want them to feel the beauty in what they wear. And it just to embody like who they are, like the pieces. I want them to stand out. Adornments. Opulence. Abundance. All of the good things under the sun. I want it to be able to help the girls, the guys radiate, and just look real.
Light them up.
Light them up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the light, the jewels. I'm loving
the jewels.
Yeah.
So once I got there, I started seeking, asking God for more vision. Eventually, we got the name Lumee. By me asking God for that provision, I was like, okay, God, this business has to give an example of a rebirth.
Yep.
But a rebirth in a way that brings peace, joy, and light. And whatever that name is, I want that. And so I started looking for things. I was like, okay, illuminate, illumination.
Right.
Then I was like, light, Lumee. Because Lumee is light.
Yep.
And that's how we got there.
I love that. That's so beautiful and inspiring. And just
that's biblical too.
It is.
We're supposed to be the light in the dark spaces in this world. Like that's all connected to God. So, yeah.
And you took the message. So I was sometimes we hear messages and just because we hear them doesn't mean we always like actualize them or even realize it. I feel like they can get a message every day. You know what I mean? You have to be so tapped in to be able to really like truly hear that word. And so I guess just like what kind of made you decide like, okay, I'm gonna go all in. Like how am I gonna like this fire that I had, like how am I going to actually like actualize, materialize and kind of like spark it, right? Like how am I gonna go?
Right. So because I've already been in a place of entrepreneurship, since I was a kid, my mom taught me how to literally sell candies to the kids on a bus.
Love it.
Girl, I was sending. What?
No, seriously.
I'm teaching my kids. Like, everybody's gonna learn how to be a seller. Like, what?
That's good.
Girl, my mom would line us up, give us all literally candies, bags of chip, and tell us to come back and tell us how much we made for the day.
She's funny because y'all are all doing like your own interesting.
Do you see what I'm saying?
She said you must learn. Go. Yes. She planted the seeds early. Yeah. Like that's awesome.
Yeah, she did. And that's why I do have a lot of experience in it and expertise in entrepreneurship because I'm not new to this.
Right.
She's trying to
What's tea, honey?
Glad. She's true.
So, and then like got to this space where, mind you, I already know what I'm doing by this time. So all I'm doing is seeking resources, finding vendors, figuring out what the quality of the jewelry, the vermeil, the percentage of the gold, 18 karat.
So you were like researching, you were like trying to figure out all the different steps. You were planning.
I wanted to know everything because I knew that in order for me to, transform and conform into who I'm supposed to be, I needed to get out of that dark and step into light. And what was going to propel me into that light is to stay focused on this passion project that God gave me.
Something worth it.
Something worth it.
Yeah.
Mind you, this is 2019, 2020. The shutdown has begun. Yeah. Nothing is happening.
But that's like a perfect time for you to get into
exactly.
like a perfect shift.
As I said, there was rest.
So much building.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
It was
God.
rest. I had rest. I restored.
Yeah.
I was so grateful for that time.
Honestly, I had a great COVID time too. Like just being able to like really
working.
You were working?
I was actually testing people for COVID at my job.
Not the test, honey.
Not the I was actually
it's doing frontline worker. Like you were really in it.
Frontline.
Yeah, she was on the front lines.
I was. No, but you had the girls. You had the girls safe and sound, honey. Thank you.
Yeah, but
we needed you.
Had me safe and sound. But I was in a hazmat.
You had the mask on, right?
I had a hazmat suit, but people were sneezing.
She wasn't safe and sound enough.
I was like, I have family.
Yeah, you weren't safe and sound
enough.
Anyway, I did have a restorative period though during that time that I don't know, kind of like just led me to like my next steps. It was when I was in grad school. So like
you did do grad school.
I was in grad school.
That's crazy though.
I was actually so happy. I was like, I don't want to come on campus. Make it virtual.
I had been
literally everything should have been virtual. Why were they telling people to come on campus?
Virtually though, like, but it was weird because it shifted just like my perspective of like what I was going to be doing in this season, like how I was going to be learning, how I was going to be meeting my clients. Like I'm thinking everything's going to be in person.
It was a pivotal moment for like online therapy.
Yes,
some people were like saying, I don't know how it's going to fit, but now like that's the main way people do it.
That's
we're reaching so many people.
Out, we're getting
so many things.
Expand.
Even the doctor, like you can do the online doctor. You can call. They'll see you through
Services
the video.
are getting to people in a better way. In a better way.
I actually liked this shift.
I liked
feel
the
better
shift
because people were trying to question it.
They were
like, what does that mean?
Ethical?
Yeah.
How are people going to be able to really feel you in a room?
Yeah.
They feel
pretty
us,
much
baby.
the other way.
They feel us. And
they do feel us.
Yeah, they get it. They get it.
Because what the most important thing is really energy.
Yes, it's literally energy, building a relationship.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think between me and Candrace and other people who are good there at that, it's like we can actually
that
like
transcends.
still
It
make
doesn't.
that
You don't have to be in
happen.
the room for that.
Right, the energy is gonna
actually concerning.
Yes.
If you can only
if it
do
doesn't
it while you're in
translate
the room,
through the screen,
like
something,
it's
not your field.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Try again,
And also,
honey.
I think it gave us a little bit more like flexibility, just sustainably. Just everyone is doing things virtually, so let's go ahead. Because even like shopping experiences, I'm thinking about whenever you first was telling me about Lumee, but I know
I remember
pivoted. Like
I did an interview with you and the Black mental health.
That was I was like,
wow.
My brain.
Is this like
so crazy?
Everything's connected. God works.
It's giving full circle.
I pulled Obee in because I was like a social media manager / like intern.
You showed me
for Black mental wellness.
Yes,
I was doing a whole side quest. I love a good side quest.
Me too. Cindy her side quest. It was so lovely. Like,
but then
Cindy,
I was like, okay, I have a friend. She's an entrepreneur. She could sell like whatever. So I remember
so funny
bringing her in because they were looking for vendors. So yeah,
on
here
your
we are
resume,
again.
bro.
That's crazy.
Yes,
she has lots of jobs. Anyways, multi-hyphenate. I do feel like that time was just pivotal. I remember you were talking about how you switched from doing the nails and then you switched to like, I don't know, you were just smart to me and like you're thinking of like where the world was, and kind of recognizing like people needed the nails because we couldn't go to like the salons. Yeah, she's a trend forecaster. The girl's making it make sense. Making it sense early.
I'd be calculating.
Yeah, that was like I was like, where trends this woman? Like she's getting it. And then you switched to the jewels.
Yes, I did. So I did start off with Lumee Nails. That was my first brain baby. And Lumee Nails was perfect and perfect timing during 2020 when the girls couldn't go to the nail salons anymore because of the infections and all the diseases and viruses that were coming upon the world at the time. Everyone wanted to stay as safe and sound as possible. So there was lockdowns after lockdowns, buildings shut down. They boarded up.
Girl,
things were boarded up.
We were not going anywhere.
What?
We were all in it.
Everybody for months, just, at home. So at that time I was like, okay, well, the perfect start of, the business Lumee was that I wanted to have, two visions, which was one, Lumee Nails and the other Lumee Jewels. So with Lumee Nails, it was perfect during 2020 because it was the alternative to going to the nail salon.
Yeah.
You can still get that luxury at home experience with the application and all the products that we had for you, which was like the custom nails, the glue.
So they were press-ons and
yeah,
things?
They're cute.
that were very customized and very cute, personalized to your taste and your style.
Yeah.
And so it actually got a lot of attraction during this time because of how on time it was.
Very timely.
Very
everybody
timely.
was learning skills in that time. Everyone was
Yes.
building their skills. They were baking. They were learning how to build. They were learning how to do nails.
Baking bread.
That's perfect.
So many things on social media were just transitioning. Like even in the content space with them,
home stuff, more like home self-care content.
All of it.
I was loving it. I was like, yeah, the wellness girlies, stand up, have a moment.
Yes,
We're
the
not going
self-care.
outside.
I loved it. She said, I'm
She
still
was
outside.
I
unfortunately
can't relate.
outside at that time.
She said,
I was working from
Mama,
home.
I ain't never
And I
home.
missed that season, child. Anyway.
So yeah, it gained a lot of attraction. I got featured on Wall Street Journal as well as
gosh.
Wow.
that was
so
the first
exciting.
pickup. Wall
That's
Street
so
Journal
crazy.
as well as Women's Health Magazine.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Wait.
Yeah.
I'm like, I did not know
you read
these
the
things.
articles, girl?
Right.
That's a big deal.
Yeah. I had the articles and I tagged them
you didn't frame them?
I didn't.
You could still do that.
I know I can find it though.
Yeah.
I have to still find it.
Yeah.
Because like they were on, you know how they're on social media? They were online for years. Like you could search it and it just keep popping up. I loved it. I kept popping up for everybody.
Right, and that's not the end, okay?
I loved it. I was just checking to make sure it's still there.
It's still there.
Yeah,
Story
for
is
real.
there.
Story is there.
Print is not dead.
Okay. Like more stories, honey. I need press.
We all need some press. And it's
more
coming
press.
More press.
More press.
More media.
More media. And that's also where like Voice Dallas came in. And so not only was I able to be like recognized locally, but I was recognized, I feel like it was almost like nationally because of where Wall Street plays a part. Being one of the, huge company behind that. Yeah. And then Women's Health magazine, come on, guys. So I was so grateful.
It's giving iconic.
It was very,
what a shift. It's like
grateful.
you just came from this dark space and now you're getting all this publicity. Right. It's like, wow.
Right.
How quick your life can change.
Literally, like this. Very unplanned. This was the season of my life that I didn't plan. Remember when I said in the beginning, I planned everything out? And it didn't turn out the way. It goes back to that one comment.
But you had plans. But God did give you something. I feel like He gave you a direction.
He gave me a direction, yes.
They needed some plans in between. I'm just saying.
Yes, okay.
But like loose. 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 Yeah.
Because what I learned is that like how we know our God is intentional. He also has us focus on the now.
Yeah.
He tells us to
always
tells us
that. I learned
focus on now.
Yesterday.
Yes.
I hear
because you was trying.
She's on me.
But once you understand the now, your life changes.
Hello.
Because intentionality and now together, that's a dangerous combination. It's a dangerous combination. Like I understand.
You've seen the light.
I've seen the light. Like literally, I understand. And so when he was like, this is the vision I'm giving you. Focus on this now. Yeah. Don't worry about nothing else. That's what I did. And that's why I was able to get all that recognition. And, I was able to, step into that light because I stepped into my calling, essentially. You know what I'm saying? I literally answered a call that I didn't even know was mine. Hello. But I answered, Yeah,
you answered.
And so once I answered that call, so many other calls start coming in, like ring, 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 back to back. And so then I dabbled into growing more on my social media space.
Yeah.
And around this time, again, still 2020, many of the girls are understanding there's a shift because we're getting carousels, we're getting reels, and the creativity, they're expecting more of that on social media. Around this time, this is when, the change in social media is happening. So I'm not even knowing that like God has his own plans for me in this space. Yeah. But as I'm answering the call of Lumee Jewels, I'm also answering the call of me stepping into the light in my personal branding as well. So there's so many things that God was doing at that time. And so open that door. First partnership is Lexus car company.
I remember that.
Girl. Yeah. Luxury brand.
You were in it.
I was just like, how am I here? Girl, they gave me a car. They gave me two. They gave me 2 cars.
Girl, how am I saying out?
They sent me the car.
On social media.
They sent the concierge.
I have a TikTok following.
And so do I. And
you wait till the app was going to be deleted. Let's not do it. Our guest
Do you still have the app though?
Of course I still.
Okay, because you can't delete it.
She's on me about my content. We know I'm a slow creator. Okay,
pick it up, Cindy.
Pick up the pace.
And I'll come right back.
I'm gonna come
we'll do a U-turn.
I'm not gonna come for you, but I'm gonna have to be.
No, come for her.
I'm gonna have to be.
Hold her accountable.
Can we
I will be accountability.
I did better than I ever have before.
You have. Look at where we are at right now.
Was leaving.
Cindy knows I'm so proud of her.
I've done better. I used to not post at all. You would get 3 posts out of me a year. I really did do better. In this last year, I was like, okay, there are opportunities because just like you, I'm hearing this call, but my problem is she wanting to answer the call?
Yeah, it's like ring, ring.
It's kind of
you're
ringing
getting multiple calls. You're actually on a conference call.
She's on a conference call, and we need our sister to pick up.
And you said, I don't have a clear connection. I'm so sorry.
A little something.
I don't know.
But you know what?
It's merged.
It's merged.
No, she just dropped a seed. It's merged. Honey, the call is merged.
The call is merged.
The call is merged.
It's supposed to be direct to one caller.
It's supposed to be direct to one caller.
So those are the things that I'm still working out, guys. Still trying to figure out how to like hang up the other calls. You know what I mean?
No. You don't hang up.
Do we not?
The calls are merged.
Oh.
All the calls.
You guys all need to have a conversation. Just do it.
Yeah. It's just the do. Because the calls,
action piece?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for you, going back to the guy. How did you, I guess for you, just how do you kind of decide to answer the call?
Yeah.
You know what I
and
mean?
which calls to answer, because not all of them are supposed to be.
Because we're going to get a lot of opportunities. You've got a lot of opportunities. Doesn't mean every opportunity we're going to just be, No. So sometimes the discernment piece
all about discernment
is a thing. And also like, not getting stalled in between, right? Because sometimes it can be so much. Like for you at a point, right? You were in a place where it's like there's a lot of darkness and there's a lot to kind of just like get myself out of. I feel like we all kind of have that experience in different ways. And for me, like I also have kind of had those experiences where it's just like, I'm really down right now. And the down stayed a little longer than I wanted it to. Like, but when those calls started coming in and you're still kind of feeling that sense of down, how do you decide? Like, I want to answer this call now. This is going to be the call. And I do understand a part of that's like listening to God and really getting clear on that voice.
Yes.
But sometimes it's a little staticky in different places.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what are we doing to kind of move the energy to be able to hear the call, guys? Ooh. Like, what are we doing?
I got so much like messages from what you just said. And in order to, sorry, I got a little tongue twisted.
It's okay.
Happens to that.
In order to answer your call, what I would say is not only are we learning how to be intentional, not only are we learning how to be in the now, but we're learning how to move. Okay? And what move means is you move now. Okay? We're going to move now. We're going to use move and now at the same time here because we have to be intentional.
Action.
Okay? And so what I did at that time for me, when I realized that like calls were coming, I started preparing myself.
Yeah.
Because one thing is that even when God puts you in a room that you don't have all the tools, he's going to prepare you once you get there because you don't need to have everything. You already have all that you need. Everything that he's given you, who you are, whatever you are and you represent at this moment is enough. And so use that. And then with what you already have, start preparing with the information and the guidance that he gives you. So what I did was I opened up my emails 2019. Mind you, I wasn't even prepared, but top of the email, we read Lexus partnership, paid collaboration.
Period.
And I'm like, trying to open my eyes.
It's real. Wipe that crust out really quick.
It's real.
Yeah.
And
check that.
Girl, I just prayed about it, opened it. And I was like, nah, this is real.
Yeah.
It was very, very real. And it was very for me. And it was on time because if I didn't open my emails at that time, if I wasn't tapped into
what you were doing,
what I was doing, I wouldn't have received it.
Right.
I would have missed another calling. And so I answered to the email. And even though I felt so unprepared, I took the meeting. I joined the meeting.
Yeah.
Once I just did it.
That's the faith.
And that's the move. That's the faith. That's the move in the now.
Yeah.
And so I just moved and I did it. I'm on now the conference call with the corporate Lexus team and all these other influencers that are within the DFW. And when I'm looking at the influencers within the DFW, I'm like, these ain't no small dogs that I'm here with.
Right. Okay. Those some big dogs.
Yeah.
She's in it. She's like, hey.
It's the wolf for me. Like, wolf.
Like, whoa.
Like, huh?
Not the dog park.
Girl, we were in the dog park. I was with the big dogs.
With the big guests.
With the big guests.
She don't want no puppy.
No puppies. Like.
Big dog. I'm sorry.
No, that's going to just eat. We already know it's going
to eat. Literally so funny.
Oh my gosh. So like when that happened, that's when I realized, hey girl, it's time to wake up.
Because life is happening
in the middle of it, in the thick of it, okay? And so as we were in the thick of it, I was like, not only am I feeling unprepared, but I'm also feeling like I'm ready to answer my calling.
That's exciting.
And so I stepped
into
faith.
Yeah.
And so once I stepped in, I ain't never stepped out, honey.
Period. And the partnerships keep rolling.
Back to back.
And only get bigger.
Yes.
Get bigger.
Back. Yes. That's literally how it started. And yeah.
I love it. Oh my gosh.
What an inspiration.
So inspiring.
But also just a testament of how good God is.
Oh, so
and
good.
the work that happens that we don't even know that's happening behind the scenes. And I kind of lean into my depressive episodes because just from track record, I know that's when like the stuff is brewing.
It's brewing.
Oh my gosh. Because if you look at the Bible, all the people that were tested and then everything that happened at the end, like this is the time that he's really pruning and developing you and you just have no idea. And then it just kind of all hits you like a ton of bricks. So
pruning where it's like he's cutting off the dead ends of the branches for it to grow. You know what I'm saying?
You can't take that with you.
You can't take it with you to the next stage.
Down,
because sometimes you're going to grow to a point where you have to cut.
Yeah, you don't have no choice.
Yeah, she's cutting.
Or else you're going to get cut.
She's cutting right now. You're actually getting cut.
And that's funny because you said you were doing that in 2019. You were just you were shifting a lot and cutting some relationships. It all ties
to make
in.
Space.
You do have to make space though for something new. You got to get rid of the old for something new.
Oh my God, girlies.
This is perfect. That's what I'm saying. Like the conversations.
Yeah. It's... Well, is it time for a card? I think it's time for a card
time,
guys.
Card time.
Okay.
Oh
my gosh.
Period.
Okay. What is it giving?
I'll go first.
She's ready today.
She is so ready.
Okay.
Sure.
What mistake of mine taught me the most recently? What did it teach me? I've just had this like real conversation about pride. I think we all have it. We don't want to talk about it.
A topic.
But it gets in the way and it shows up a lot in our relationships and just like how we spread ourselves thin. And I've just always been a person of discernment. But then pride would get in the way. Like, this is not a good idea, but being prideful, you're like, well, maybe I'll make it different. And, want to be a fixer and all these things. And so I'm grateful that I've been able to remove pride and like separate that and just think realistically and set those boundaries and just be intentional in that way.
I love that.
Okay.
I love that. Because what's the saying? Pride comes before the fall.
Yeah.
But
I think so many people are delusional about pride. I think a lot of people like want to call it something different. I'm just really helpful.
What is it narcissism or what is pride called?
I think a lot of it is just drama or like fixing or, maybe you're projecting, you wanna
pride is a whole lot of things.
Long suffering.
I'm almost like curious, like I don't want to pry into the pride, but I'm like, well,
you can pry, girl.
Can I pry a little bit? Because I'm just kind of curious
to generalize pride or pride in her story.
Out, like, what is the pride in your story?
Rock.
Kind of the pride rock you were standing on.
What
like was that about? That like I guess you kind of just you don't have to share in detail.
I don't mind sharing.
Okay,
obviously this was my last relationship, and I had
episode.
Discernment about the relationship. It wasn't going to work. I was very clear in the beginning that I didn't want to be in a relationship with that type of person, and then something shifted where I was like, oh, well, maybe I'll help develop and do these things. And you think you're helping, you think it's love, but at the end of the day, it is pride. You're making it about you and being like, I'm different, when really this person has a whole history and a whole pattern of how they socialize, and like nothing really is going to change. You're just going to be another person on their like chopping block. So it was a pride thing, but for the longest time I really felt like it was just like me being loving and having unconditional love and being there for that person, not abandoning them, long suffering, being patient. But really, it was pride. I thought I was different. This wouldn't happen to me.
You were going to be the one. Yeah.
I wouldn't be the one. And it's like, girl, please, this man has been doing this since birth.
Right. And it didn't start with you.
People up. It
didn't start with you, and it's not going to end with you.
Oh,
so,
it's not.
Yeah. Period. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. So I'm so proud of you because that's
we're through it. We're healed. Let's talk about
it.
We're through. Okay. I guess I can go next since I'm already here. Okay. What parts of myself have I felt the need to change in the past that I now embrace? I feel like I've had this question before on here, but I guess
That got cut. That episode got cut. So yeah.
You've never seen my answers. That's funny. Yeah. I would say like, if I'm thinking about like the parts of myself, I think of just like my quirks and my energy and my creativity and the way that it kind of like shows up, whether it's like through my sense of style or the way that I relate with people. Like I always kind of felt like I needed to tone it down a little bit. Whatever it is about me, I need to tone it
see what you're saying.
down just a little bit. Oh, she's a little too out there. She's a little too cutesy. She's a little too,
muting yourself.
I would censor myself a lot, I would feel like. And that is something just like within my family dynamic and within like mother-daughter relationships. Like there is a version of myself that was taught was acceptable to present, right? But I'm also a Nigerian woman, a young Black woman who went to schools in like the suburbs and things like that. So there are parts of me that didn't fit into all these spaces. And it's like, oh, you're too white, or you're not Nigerian enough, or you're too out there, you're too artsy, or you're too, or are you faking it, or whatever. There's just a lot of stories that I heard that I think that I started to internalize. And then I felt like I needed to kind of like take a step back. I couldn't really just be Cindy and also like
not them trying to take you away from who you are.
I've experienced a lot of that. And also I opened myself up to that a little bit too much. And I think that's just like, being kind and being open for everybody's feedback about who I am. So I would say that's kind of the parts of myself that I felt like I needed to change, because now I embrace exactly who I am, the authentic version of myself, knowing that like I am who I am and I can still experience all the things I want in this body, in this space, with this personality. So yeah, I used to tone it down a lot, I would say.
Amp it up.
Yeah, now we're just amping it up because she can be a star and that's okay. And we're all shining, you know what I mean?
And Cindy is a star, honey.
Yeah, we're all shining. We're all shining. So yeah, not dimming my own light. Because now I'm embracing all of it. So yeah.
Don't ever
embrace it all.
Embracing
it all. And I'm going to be here to help you embrace it.
And you have been, friend. It's all of you.
I love that.
Thank you guys.
Hearts. Wow, what conversation.
Your turn.
Okay. So my card, it says, what's the biggest improvement I've seen in myself this past year?
Perfect timing.
I know.
It's a good one.
Coming into January.
Yeah.
What's the biggest improvement I've seen in myself this year? The biggest improvement I've seen in myself would be I think honesty.
Yeah.
What others, yourself.
Tell us more.
Everything. I say honesty in myself, honesty towards others. And I say honesty to say that there's ways to, talk and say things, but like now it's like, I don't really want to be so closed off, and hold things back. I want to be more transparent.
It's getting real.
Like I want to be real. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's like you hold things back, from people and yourself because you're not ready to confront it at the moment. And so like that's when you're not being honest with yourself. You're not holding yourself accountable. But like I'm saying honesty in the way where it's just like you now really start, speaking and saying and doing the things that you say you're going to do and really living up to it. Like you put something on your calendar, you say, I'm going to complete this. I'm going to build this. I'm going to, I'm going to improve in this workout plan, or I'm going to learn how to cook, or, I'm telling myself, I'm giving myself goals, I'm achieving them. And I feel like I'm being honest about that, because it's just like, I don't want to be acting like living a lifestyle or being something that I'm really not.
Yeah.
And so it's just like being honest to yourself about where you want to be, being honest with yourself with like self-improvement and just with the world, like in life, like where you're at, you know what I'm saying? There's so many things that are going on in this world now, and some people are silent, they're not even speaking up.
Right.
And some people are holding back the truth. So it's just like, be honest.
Be honest. It's powerful.
It's powerful.
Okay.
That's good.
It is really good. I feel like we all need that a little bit more when it comes to just like being real with yourself too. It starts with honesty. Yeah. So yeah, I appreciate that response. It makes me think Like, is there anything I'm not being as honest to myself about? I don't know.
Like for me, I know I still need to work on time management.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
She does. She does, guys.
Like she's drawing out. She's drawing it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good honest.
So I couldn't have, you know what I'm saying?
Real, though.
Like,
that's how we grow.
Acknowledge the problem. Face it forward. Hold yourself accountable.
That's a thing for me. Consistency, that's a thing for me too. Like, let's just be real about like, you know, certain things. And that's honest.
It's honest.
Yeah.
Be honest with yourself. And once you start getting honest with yourself and switching the narrative, the story changes.
Yeah.
And people don't have to identify you with like this certain thing either. I feel like you get to kind of like regain your power about that and like
reclaim
pivot
it.
it.
Reclaim power. You get to tell the story a different way because now you're really living in it. And you're speaking out of honesty so you can even acknowledge where you were in the past and still speak about where you're at in the present. Yeah.
Perfect.
So true. I love you.
Well,
I love it. I love it.
We're kind of towards the end of our episode, guys.
Wow.
Which is super exciting.
Oh my gosh. We
It-
really made through
It
it.
happened so fast.
So fast, honey. So fast.
So fast.
Can we get a moment of just doing this?
Please.
Like it.
We've been clocked.
Clocked,
And
honey.
gagged.
We've been clocked.
And
Gagged.
so many
And enlightened so much.
Our closing
Wow.
question, Cindy.
Oh, okay. Well, we're trying to get into the flow of like being able to ask everybody who comes into our pod because
Okay.
this is a special place, okay? And we appreciate your vulnerability, transparency, honesty,
Yeah.
and just being
the
here with us
spirit.
today. This has been really fun.
This was
honestly,
so good.
so fun, and I'm excited for people who see you on social media to see you in just a different Lumee light. You know what I mean? There's so many layers.
Just in a Lumee light.
In a Lumee
I love how you
light.
just tied that in there, guys.
Right, shameless plug.
You know, shameless.
Love my girl down, honey.
And we love you too. And so the last question is, Obee, how would you like to be seen?
Oh, that's lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I really feel like I'm stepping into it already.
Yeah.
And so I would love to be seen as a light unto others, as well as a safe place for healing and like growth for anyone. I don't want just women to think that I only get along with women like girls. Like I get along with men too. Like I know how to talk. And talk to you personally, like get to know you and like the root of things. Like I can get to know. And so I want to be able to help others heal in their journey, wherever they may be, and whatever that looks like. So whenever I step in the room, I usually gravitate towards people who are like, you know, not so outspoken, just so that I can help them warm up the scene, whether warm up to me or warm up to others, but I usually gravitate towards
that is love.
People like that. And so like in rooms and wherever I am, I just want to be like that safe space, like light, healing, and be seen as that for others.
I love
It's
that.
so sweet. This is why you're the perfect guest for this season. Like, we're going into Valentine's Day.
It's so cute.
And it's
about
so
love.
cutesy, and it's about love. And not just romantic, platonic, friendship,
love is so much
familial,
more than just romantic.
community. And it's really nice seeing you step into this love and light and everything that you radiate.
I feel like that's connected in the spirit of like being seen. I think I had a conversation with my dad and he was talking about he's realizing how he shows up in other people's lives as either the planter or the waterer. So he's either planting seeds that need to be watered or he's watering seeds that already have been planted. And I feel like that just has been always like a family dynamic that's kind of been taught and embedded into me and my sister. My mom's like that too. I feel like that's a ministry. I feel like that's just like the super ministry. But I feel like I've shown up in that way, but I feel like I'm kind of drifting from that now because I do feel like, yes, that's beautiful, but you have to make sure you have very firm boundaries around that. And I'm just kind of in the season of like, you know, planting and watering myself.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's good though.
What did we say on the phone the other day? He was like, not selfish, self-love.
Self first. Yeah, not self-first, self-first.
And I'm definitely transitioning into that.
Yeah,
state.
I am too though. And I feel
Girl.
like, She said it like that because she knows. Like, I'm fully.
We have to.
I'm fully like,
it's time to go.
Put me in. I'm rooted in me.
Gather your things.
And I'm grateful for that season. Yeah. Okay, guys.
But I do think that's also beautiful.
Like,
that like you can show up in different people's lives that way. And I feel like everybody does that.
And yeah, I feel like the question of like, are you a planter or are you a waterer? Like in life, you can be both.
I think it depends on the person too.
Honestly.
Like who you're in relationship with and how, they relate to you, where they're at in their healing, where you are.
Yeah.
It's different. You could be both at once.
Yes, you're right. Mm-hmm. Because I can account to that. I would say I'm both at once, but I would tell you when I am unable to pour. Mm-hmm. And water is when my cup is not full. You need to be
able to know that. Yeah.
Yes.
Communicate it.
So when my cup is not full, and we know what a full cup looks like.
Yeah.
It's, at the top. That's when I'm technically able to give, right?
A little bit.
A little bit. But when you're really able to give the abundance is when it's at overflow.
The overflow.
And when it's runneth over the cup. Mm-hmm. That's when you're able to give it and share it and pour it unto others when your cup is full. Mm-hmm. So that's where the boundaries come into place, where it's like, know your boundaries. Because if you're pouring from a cup that's already halfway empty or it has nothing, you're constantly coming into contact with people who are being takers.
Yeah,
you're
withering away.
And it's happened to me.
Yeah, and they will drain you because takers gonna take and pourers are gonna pour.
Baby,
they sure will.
Because nobody's ever gonna say stop.
Yeah.
You have to be the one.
You have to know when to say stop and
people
kind of like
have
recognize.
Their hands open, baby.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They always like, give me some.
Right.
Give me that.
More?
What Chris Brown say? Give me that.
Oh! Shake it back. I was in love with him.
We did have a moment.
He still does.
Yeah. Oh, Lord. Okay. I'm just thinking, Lordy Lord.
Lordy Lord. He's in this space.
He's in the room.
He's in the room. Oh, no, I was literally listening to that song on my way here.
Can't stop.
As you need.
I did need that. Yeah,
I was listening to that song.
Look, in the room right now.
He's definitely here.
I am also kind of in the place of like, yeah, it's time to kind of just like water myself and also be planted. I really love the conversation about like planting and just kind of like being able to like recognize the roots. And I don't know. I feel like we'll see something, say something. Even in our podcast, like people come in, we're here, we're planting seeds every day. Just kind of like being able to figure out like, hey, where's the direction? So, do we want to do our final card? Do you have another one? Maybe
I have one more.
Do, but I feel like mine is strange. Mine's a wild card. Do you guys want to hear what it was before I put it back?
Mine is so good. Mine is so good for the topic. And so I even feel like if I don't, like, based off of the other cards, like, make sure this one's in here.
I can answer it. It doesn't matter.
You got it.
I can go first.
Yes, please.
Okay. So, guys, this is my last card.
Last card for everybody.
Last card.
It's been a great party. Don't you wish you were here?
With my last card, this question is, how do I want to be loved by someone else? That's why I said it's two on time, honey. Two on time. And mind you, I was ruffling through that.
Yeah, you got what you needed.
I got what I needed.
You got what you needed.
Intentional.
Okay, I like it.
Okay, so how do I want to be loved by someone else? Describe in detail.
Ooh, the detail.
And do you love yourself in this way?
Ooh.
Answer honestly. Clack it
every day.
Clack it.
These are very right on time.
It was so on time. That's why I was like, these cards.
Yeah, they're good, huh?
So good. So, how would I love to be loved? I would love to be loved agape.
Yes, agape love.
Agape, honey. I want the whole thing, honey. Give me it all. Like,
give me that.
Give me that. Like, I don't want you to hold back. Because I'm not going to hold back.
Talk about it.
You know what I'm saying? I won't hold back in my love languages. I won't hold back in pouring. I won't hold back in showing up. I won't hold back in loving myself first, but then also to do that for you, I won't hold back. You know what I'm saying?
Hello.
that love. You know what I'm saying? And so like, I really want that.
Loving this.
I wasn't ready for that either.
But you are.
But I really think that it's important to be like transparent and go for a love that is real. And what agape love is an unconditional love. Hello. And when you know what love is, you know that God is love, but he also loved us unconditionally.
Yes.
Which is what agape love is, that unconditional love. So even when someone makes mistakes, he says what? Forgive them 70 times 7. Forgive and learn how to get back on your feet and love again. Because the strongest thing that we can do for each other is to keep choosing love and peace. And if we choose that, I really feel like it'll be the best love story ever.
That will be beautiful.
It's sweet. And clack it.
And we continue to call. Yeah. Do you want to go or do you want me? Want to do swoop or do you want to go swoop?
Just go this way.
Okay. Mine was a wild card. It says,
For a wild gal.
For a wild girl. Who's done a great job at loving me? Send a picture of this card as a thank you. I feel like my family has, like my parents and my sister, but like to just take it to that next level, really God. Like, I think about it every day. I was just talking to my mom about it, just like he's a testament of mercy and just like forgiveness. Like that truly is unconditional love. And, you know, it's a snapshot of what you're looking for in a person. Obviously, a person's not going to be perfect the way God is. And I feel like he's been able to, I'm thankful for the family that I was born into where like we communicate that we love each other and we show each other that. But like he's really been a great example because I've definitely messed up. And he still blesses me. Like the blessings that continue to come, I'm like shocked. And so just like, puts me at ease and comfortable because it's just like, wow, you've never stopped loving me. You've never given up on me. You've never forgotten about me. You continue to like put me in opportunities and spaces of growth and just elevation and just excess. And it's just like, I'm just shocked every day. Like we read it in the Bible, but to live it, it's like, dang. So yeah, God.
Hey.
I love that.
It's affirming.
Right? It is. And it makes you feel so much better about yourself because like we knock ourselves down all the time, but like a perfect, all-knowing being continues to choose you every day.
Exactly.
So why wouldn't you choose yourself?
Exactly.
And continue to do the work.
I know that's right.
So
better show that unconditional love.
Hello?
To self and to others.
We're saved.
You know what I'm saying?
We're saved. Over and out.
Super well. Mine said, what does self-love mean to me?
Ooh.
What does it not mean to me?
What does it not?
Oh, what does it not
mean? It says, what does self-love mean to me?
Not.
And then what does it not?
Okay.
I'm in an interesting space right now, guys.
Tell us more.
Yeah, I feel like, honestly, I don't know how to answer this question.
You can.
I can.
You know.
I know. I feel like self-love right now means just being able to like forgive myself for any decisions that I've made or things that have stalled me or just the way that I like care for Cindy. I've definitely been more of like, I've always floated in a people-pleasing space, honestly. And that has like really caused me to not be able to support myself as much as I would want to really experience like that true self-love where it's like, okay, I'm making decisions based on that. Yeah. I think in this season, self-love for me is kind of going back to that self-first, not selfish concept that I feel like it's like a mantra that I've just kind of had. So yeah, just being able to prioritize my needs, my well-being, what I see for myself, who I see it with, like that's self-love, like really deciding, you know, to really just be able to put me first right now. And then what does it not mean? I feel like it does not mean like, I don't know, holding myself back from being able to really fully embrace self-love. because of the work I do, I'm giving away a lot of my energy to others for a living. And
for a living,
it is
really working with clients,
something.
Everything.
Yeah. And I think self-love means to just be able to like recognize when I'm depleted, you know?
Yes.
What does it not mean? It doesn't mean to just keep going because that's for someone else. 9 times out of 10, when I'm just kind of like pushing along and forcing certain things, that's not self-love. That literally is me negating my own boundaries, my own wishes and wants for myself, and also like what God is calling me to do. That's not self-love. Literally the opposite, you know? So yeah, I think it's just like being able to like listen to my voice right now. That's the truest self-love, and letting that be like the first thing with God as a collaboration that does guide me. So yeah,
as a collaboration.
As a collaboration.
With the
G-O-D. We need both.
No, seriously.
We need both.
I feel like that's just it right now. Self-love is like being able to listen, to like get the guidance, to be able to like open myself up for that by creating the space and not just like, listening to the world and everything else. So, yeah.
Can I add to that?
Sure.
Yeah.
That the last thing that I wanted to add was something that, like a message that Hayes left with me before he had passed away was like, life is like a dance, okay? And in those moments when he told me this, I didn't understand it. He was trying to, explain to me like how, because he did MMA, he was a boxer, there was a lot of fist fighting, punches and stuff like that. He was just like, that sport is a dance. And so views life like a dance. So he was telling me like, life is going to throw you some punches, but like, get up, block, find ways to get over it because it's like a dance. And so when he left me with that message, I was like, okay, life is like a dance. Life is like a dance. And I started thinking of this recently because I was trying to leave a message for, about like just everything all in all. And I was just like, no, he left me with a message. So I'm going to make sure I put that in there. And so when I thought about it and I went to God with that message, God took me to the word abundance, which has the word dance in it.
That's true.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This type of stuff will send me through the roof. I can't.
It's a connection.
God.
It has the word abundant. It has the word dance in abundance.
Sure does.
And so I was thinking, I was like, God, what are you telling me right now? Did you really just tell me what I think you told me? God told me to dance. He said, you want abundance? Dance. That's how you get there. Because life, there's going to be so many different obstacles.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So many
Never
different.
ending.
You know what I'm saying? And in order to get to where you need to be, you got to move. You got to dance and go through all the obstacles to get to the glory. But in order to get to the abundance,
girl, you take me to church, girl. Because don't give me that.
That was a revelation he gave to me the other day, and I was just like, "How is this possible?" But he really said it. He put dance in abundance. He told us to get to work.
Get to work.
And then when you look up, remember when I told you about move? That was something also I got from the Holy Spirit. I was listening to a podcast by Michael Todd, and Michael Todd was talking about how how you know that the Holy Spirit is working in you is the Holy Spirit is going to tell you to move.
Yep.
And so I started thinking, I was just like, okay, help me start defining these things. I put in the Webster dictionary, what is dance? It said to move.
Right.
To move.
Clear connection.
And I was just like, oh, wow. You really just told me life is a dance. And in order to get to abundance, put my shoes on.
Right.
Get to stepping. One foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
1-2 step, just like that.
Come on, 1-2 step.
And keep going, honey.
Yeah.
And keep going. And so ever since I got that message, I was just like, man, this is going to be really good. And it was literally the beginning this year that he explained that to me, this 2025, January. And so I'm ready to dance, y'all. I don't know how 2025 is going to turn, but
worship.
I am so excited for what is to come.
Ready to dance,
exciting.
Ready to move.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh, Obee.
Wow.
I'm sad. This has been so good. Like, thank you for even giving us that lasting like message too.
Yes.
I feel like a lot of people are gonna be able to resonate. Planting seeds, moving, and like abundance. Hallelujah. Like all of it is connected. Yeah. Oh, thank you for just this energy.
My parents are gonna love this episode.
They are gonna love this episode.
Here hooting hard.
Yeah, this is good. This is good. Like
praise the Lord, hallelujah.
Yeah, the girls are in it.
Like
really.
The girls are gonna be in it. I already told a few of my friends. I didn't want to say too much because you know how like when God is up to something, there's gonna be a lot of shifts and a lot of tags. And, honey, there was so much happening to me and my friends yesterday, even today, that I didn't know if it was gonna work. It happens. But I told
Spiritual
God,
warfare, baby.
As I was praying and I was getting ready, I said, God, if you want this to happen today, I know you're gonna let it happen. So I'm just gonna keep getting ready. Yeah, and that's what I did.
Don't nothing stop.
Nothing stopped.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Hallelujah.
So.
Lord,
trust
it's supposed to happen, and I think a lot of the messages from today are going to be taken. And I don't know, this is a new door for all of us. So I'm very excited.
My friends are telling me to let them know about the episode when it releases. I haven't told everybody, but they're like, "Girl, send it to me immediately."
It's coming.
It's gonna be good, guys. Coming soon.
Very soon, actually.
For the girls.
February
for the girls. Mm-hmm. This is a really good self-love.
I'm excited. Yes! I think like it really truly embodied like everything. Yeah. So, Obee, tell us where to find you, follow you, stay up to date.
Okay.
Yeah, plug yourself.
I'm screaming. So as you guys know, I'm usually very humble with it, but I'm aware.
Sometimes we have to talk our things. Okay, we have to talk this.
Be honest.
Right.
Yeah. I was literally going to walk out and just not say anything. But
yeah. She was going to be like, bye.
I was.
Talk about the things.
I was. So you can find more of the story about Lumee Jewels from my About Me page on lumeejewels.com. That is our direct website. We also have Instagram. That's Lumee Jewels, at Lumee Jewels. And you can personally tap into me, Obee Roulette, on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I'm everywhere. Even on Pinterest. Add me to your mood board, girlies.
I know that's right.
Sorry, the muse.
Get prepared for your Valentine's Day gift, honey.
Okay. Yeah, we got some looks for you.
You better send screenshots
Let your boo know
with the jewelry and be like, hey.
Oh,
not gagging.
Oh, he got a video already. He got one.
Period.
I'm hollering.
He's off the market. Yeah.
Wait, off the market.
Getting there. Anyway.
Debut?
This is a self-love episode. Love in all forms.
I'm screaming.
Hey. Obee, thank you for coming.
Yes.
Thanks, girls. And yeah, y'all, tune in to See Something, Say Something.
More to come.
More to come. Season 2.
Bye.
Bye.